Hello and welcome to Joypads for Goalposts, and this is our first ever mailbag, so I guess I should talk a bit about this process. It's not just about reviewing games, but also getting hold of games. We're kind of committed to getting hold of games that we don't have access to. So you've seen a few episodes so far where the games we already had or could get a hold of a copy easily and beforehand, but here I started picking up games as and when I can, so it's a case of just trawling websites and seeing what they got going cheap. This particular parcel came from gamestreet.ca, which is a store local to here, but does ship all around Canada and possibly even abroad. So yeah, we're going to open this up. I've kind of forgotten what a couple of the things were, but let's open it up and see what we got. So the first game we got hold of was Pro Evolution Soccer 2009 on the PS3. It's not one I've actually ever played. This is kind of when PES was kind of ruling the roost a little bit. Like FIFA fell off for a little bit, for a few years, and then PES kind of took over PS2 era, beginning of the PS3, before FIFA like kicked back on and became the juggernaut it is today. So interested to go back and see this and like try and look back at the context of when it came out and what kind of game it was back then. Master League was always big in these games. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good one to try out a lot later down the road. We're going to leave, as you know, we're doing the checkered history of football games at the moment, so we're going to leave from like 2000 onwards, we're kind of going to leave because they're like more the modern era of football games. So that's one for later. Next up is another one for later. FIFA Soccer 11, again on the PS3. Trying to recognise these players. I think that's Kaká, that's Lando Donovan. I have no idea who that Arsenal player is. If anyone knows who that guy is there, let us know. Of course, showing off, I guess, the only comparison to make is this just shows a football field. This kind of shows FIFA's advantage with a licence. A lot of people didn't care back in the day that PES didn't have the licence. It seems to have become more prevalent these days. Next up, we have UEFA Champions League 2006-2007. So this kind of wasn't unknown for individual games. Like we had a lot of World Cup games, which we'll get onto in a bit. But games for individual tournaments to come out and to be popular and to be a viable product. So this is again made by EA, so uses the FIFA license, but also they have the Champions League license as a separate, and we're able to get people to buy enough games. Like people would buy multiple football games per year, myself included, kind of based on what tournament you wanted. So this is another one you don't see much of, so picked it up whilst we could. Speaking of other specials, World Cup, FIFA World Cup Germany 2006. I should mention that last one was on the 360 rather than the PS3. And then we're back to PS3 with this one. FIFA World Cup in Germany. I remember it most of having really good fan zones. That was one of those where they talked a lot about fan zones, and it was well known for being a good World Cup. I don't remember England in it. We probably did bad. I'm trying to think who we got knocked out by, and I cannot remember. I'll add it in the text and find out. So yeah, World Cup, we'll save this one for later. It's again a FIFA game, but one important thing that will mark whether these World Cup games are good or not is how they manage to capture the atmosphere of the World Cup. So little nods like this, like the mascots and stuff. A good little nod. Like the South African World Cup did a game I remember doing a really good job. That was 2010 when England were, of course, knocked out by Germany. So yeah, I do know stuff about football. So yeah, England's failures kind of all mould into one. And last but by no means least is a PS1 game. And this is David Beckham Soccer. This is back when he was still rocking it with Manchester United in the 90s. So this is the only one that we actually managed to get a boxed copy of. We're developed in England under international soccer superstar David Beckham's watch fly. This is the most complete soccer game ever created. Over 200 top international and club teams with up-to-date squads. Train with Beckham to perfect your skill whilst unlocking hidden areas. No idea what that means. Thinking man's game, enhanced set play, and individual skills mesh for accurate play, in-game commentary from Ron Atkinson and Jonathan Pearce. So Ron Atkinson no longer works in football for racist remarks, so bit weird that he's in there. Jonathan Pearce is of course still pretty prevalent, moved on from TalkSport, does stuff for Match of the Day and stuff now. 3 arcade modes including Beat Brazil and Classic Match. Season mode, you can play 5 whole seasons, including a Cup, League and European Cup, and there's also hidden teams handpicked by David Beckham. This is for 1 or 2 players, but then also is multi-tap adaptable for up to 4 and will let you use the analog controller. Yeah, that's David Beckham, made by Rage. So this it's the only one, I guess, that isn't a FIFA or a PES game. So there were a lot more games back in the day. Ran on different engines by different developers. So this was Rage, I made Jesco. And if you get stuck on the game and need a hint, you can of course call this number. Remember, you've got to be over 18 or have a parent's permission to call, and only touch-tone phones will work. And that was it for our first ever mailbag. So thank you very much for watching. Some of these games are going to get played eventually, a lot later down the line, as even including David Beckham, they're all kind of 2000s. I'm pretty sure this David Beckham one came out in 2002. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you've got any other football games you would like us to pick up, or any little tips, let us know in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe and share the links on Twitter and everything, and don't forget our website, dripadsforgoalpost.com.